Seems like it's going to be a year of Turkey. I mean, that will almost be confirmed once we get to the end of this match. Mandatory love to take things slowly, although well, he won't be able to do much in terms of this round. Immediately taking away the pistol round. Now on towards the C site, and Izzy needs to hold fast. Gets Enzo, but can't quite get more. Has supporting Kushner and Anima, who combine. Now one player left. It's Sivov, who will die and allow Eternal Fire to get the first pistol.
He's bought a little bit of a rotation. Eternal Fire hesitant, but they've got to hold the C site now. Yeah,
it stops the paranoia getting out. You can see here Brave is trying to hold on. Nice trades out, and now Mandatory have the site. Eternal Fire though in position. Still you're waiting for him to get into spot to help out. The spike can't go down, and you look towards the rest of the map. Sider's not anywhere near it, so you can't even win out in a deathmatch. Eternal Fire begins to set themselves. That's where they start to understand what Eternal Fire's setup looks like and position themselves accordingly, like Kellogg's does with the Showstopper.
Brilliant clear on towards Cider. Izzy, it falls on him, on his shoulders. He will fall. Anima stands tall. All it's done is bought Brave a clutch situation. 1 versus 2 for the controller as he drops in silently. Kellogg's is low. Enzo with the deeper line, but it does nothing to support the spike plant. Quickly isolate him on such a wide angle.
Shadows traveling.
Yet to catch it. Second fight. Enzo revealing himself, but winning as he puffs out his chest and wins Mandatory there first. With the one-way smoke as it was falling on down, but not to happen, and he will reprise his role in the corner here. Don't know if Kellogg's was looking for it, but Brave will smack him across the jaw. TP to the spawn. It's the Omens going for outplays. A 360 Anima eventually collects onto Mikey. Rolling Thunder back through B, walking up his hip. It's chaos inside the first 30 seconds, but Eternal Fire have managed to stabilize twice the numbers, and they will finish off one of the final players. Enzo again in a clutch.
Has to do it here first up, and he won't even be able to hit the dartboards.
Main issue is Mikey's gone over the top yet again.
Being able to break the block through that rubble position. Mikey's gone solo, all alone, like a Ferrari swinging round, and it's been a car crash right now for Eternal Fire. Although, you just stop Brave at the back of sight if he'd won the 1v1 now, is he? And that chaos, right? Like,
yeah,
fight fire with fire.
As the gold and black banner is waved over A, Mandatory marching back through.
Yeah, that paranoia wasn't good.
Where'd you go?
It certainly is. Kellogg's forced to fight. And as the players come back through to try and offer some support, it just does not work. It's futile here.
Rounds before this first half ends with Eternal Fire in the driving seat. Mandatory selection. B-Pinch coming in, and the vice grip that they have begins to tighten. Hip on the back line, it's Kellogg's instead to steal away another. The duelist player up and running, Cider and Brave to try and bring it back. I don't think it's gonna happen this time. Champions did fall foul to how strong Mandatory's attack side had been at times, so you feel like the 4 rounds are a necessity here. Flawless.
Another Hunter's Fury that will be up for Enzo. I think this is his third of the half. And Mikey again going to be aggressive, but Kushner's lying there in wait, and all the utility was sent. They were well aware of what Mandatory were trying to do. A quick B pivot looking to see what's in the Hobbit door, but it looks like it'll be Anima who's looking to just deny everything. Rolling Thunder in. Looking to retreat, and they're heading straight into Brave.
Shadows traveling.
Full on Brave here. He goes down. That left-hand side could be left open, but instead, it is another big piece from Brave. Shotgun comes in from Sivov. He was just waiting to close the gap, but unless he can run back the heroics of Haven from yesterday, there is nothing. Things have to turn around now, and already Eternal Fire will increase the pace.
They will, but look at Mandatory. They've already read into this. All the players are here, and it's Mandatory who have opened up the scoring here, and they've got 4 of the best, looking to make it 5, but Kushner is the only one who can deny. Gets 3, but can't quite get After that fight, sure, Hip's gone. They just keep 3 players towards C Mandatory, but I mean, you look towards Eternal Fire and what they've lost in post.
On Shox, Boombot, they have the works at their disposal here, but Eternal Fire, a little bit more of the same.
Yeah, Brave already been able to sneak away a kill, and I was just about to mention it, and it comes forward. This is going to be delay that will buy more time for Eternal Fire in post. Don't need to shoot the rocket, can just use it to bail them out. Already another one going Eternal Fire's way. All 3 remaining players looking to hold fast, and it looks as if they've already done the job. Running away, Mandatory looking to try and see if they can sneak away another rifle, but both players will fall to the spike, and Eternal Fire.
Nothing to extract the biometrics, the information. Everyone on Eternal Fire sat behind the veil of the walls right now as Hip has just about managed to get his first, picking it up. Phantoms coming through, clawing back away at the Fire's defenses. Recon dropping in and revealing 2 players towards the bend. Backs against the wall for Eternal Fire. The works being thrown at their faces right now, and there's little left to fend it off with. Cider, no salvos, not just yet. They'll take 10 business days to get back on towards the spike. He'd rather save the weaponry than consider the possibility of it.
Eternal Fire, they try to push
Paranoia and not all too much else.
The other thing you've got to consider is when they come back in here, Mandatory. They had a retake camp, Enzo being gone, Kellogg's on site himself. The showstopper hasn't hit, but he noted Izzy. Come back to the rest of his team. Eternal Fire though, they're already taking things into their own hands. And the round into their own hands. Spike wasn't even planned to vacating that east side, so that should be free enough to set up your post plan for Eternal Fire.
No, he's got to dive in!
Yeah.
Enzo thrown into the flames, out of the frying pan.
In with an op through Hobbit.
They have so much utility. The reserves being expended. Izzy fighting forwards, winning the first on his opposite number. Trade coming in, but a little bit laboured. That delay in the time sets up the rest. Sivov dropping with the bomb from his counterpart. Still a 2-on-2, health deficit for Anima, but he's most useful with this ult. TP in front of it, stunned will be Mikey, but he'll survive long enough to win the round out. Oh, it's close. I don't know about this one. Right down to the wire to deny him at point, and they'll get it by 0.1 of a second, Mandatory. Anchor in the previous, will Eternal Fire expect the additional support?
I mean, that's the question. They're trying to get in. It's Enzo's Odin. That was stunned up. They got the kill. Eternal Fire. Wow. They just look to flood the A site, and nobody can stop Mandatory from drowning now. There's only one man whose operator has been spot on. Can't quite get the first, and I don't think he'll even be allowed to escape. He won't. Eternal Fire. Look at this, Mandatory. They are gambling on the seaside, and they'll be right to do so. Hip not cleared. The Rolling Thunder spot on, and Kushino gets the kill when he should have been gone. Brave now supporting the case as the players of Mandatory look to play within their own smokes, but still Eternal Fire send the map towards their side.
That they do.
Mandatory is perfect, hopefully using it for a retake or whatnot. Brave has just jumped into the B site, and I think he's going to struggle to escape here. And as that's the case, Mikey gets a whole load of information from that mid portion. And well, Eternal Fire look to try and clear out A through Cider's utility. Mandatory are here already.
Sivov already in backside. Cider decapitated. Quite a few of those situations he excelled in. The flash, like a lightning bolt, flies across the screen. The paranoia placed on top looked to be just as good. Izzy's taken a couple, but as you can already see, the round is won for Mandatory.
So should automatically be a quick pivot towards it. It's taking a bit slower. Mandatory again, it's the same 2 players who managed to get effectiveness like this. Exact same hold. Mandatory straight in this bonus.
I think ramp control could be really important through Izzy as well.
Mandatory always ready. Oh, just heard the stun go off. Can't quite grab the kill, but as Eternal Fire come in, Mandatory, they capitulate. They don't have any answer here.
A lot of utility used in the mid-round as well. That slight pause before the re-hit was huge for Eternal Fire. With Izzy exploring on another post-plant position, it's going to send them even further in front in terms of control. Man count, tower has been repossessed. Mandatory handed the eviction notice, and as Sivov tries to walk back in, it's a done deal. Cut off rotations. Mandatory don't overreact to this kind of thing though, so actually Kellogg's posting up here is a pretty damn good move. He's going to get the value from it. Braves up goes, Izzy loses his head. You're down to the last 3 players in the middle of the map and they're without the spike for now. Heading towards A, and the rotation's been made with the wall still up. Enzo knows, comfortable to make this kind of decision. The captain leads by example. Kellogg's the only one absent, but in his absence, authority still stands. Been spotted by the cam, so Mandatory known about. Wall's gonna go up. There's a gap. Oh my god, this is just so cheeky from Mandatory. Brave still in his utility. They break down the curtain, but it's a nasty surprise. Eternal Fire in their face. 3 kills volleyed right back down the mouth of Mandatory.
Again, if they really need to, but Cosmic Divide infested as well. This is a 2v4, and Kellogg's is on an operator. Eternal Fire look as if they're going to push this one over the line. You look towards mid and look at where Eternal Fire are starting to make their inroads as well.
Yeah, Kellogg's has pinged this out. He knows where Izzy is. That's so diligently played by the duelist. In terms of the score right now, 5 versus 3, 2 players advantage. Steel Garden coming in, catching every single player in the middle, prepared for anyone cutting across. He's taken away Garage. The gap is more towards A, and that's where Eternal Fire will go with 20 seconds left.
Spike was just momentarily dropped, but as you said, 15 seconds and the time is ticking away. Kellogg's still not cleared from the back of sight. Showstopper used to confirm it, and that will be Mandatory 7th. A guaranteed advantage.
But
no, I said from Pacific to EMEA because it's a wide berth, you know, it's like it's the world, you know.
It's a globe, mate. But I agree. And so, world class, sprayed down. Someone who's been to those international events, but story again, someone who feels a little too good for tier 2, hasn't quite been able to cut it at the top. Recent years at the very least. Rolling him back right now as he's already got a couple of kills. Player advantage for Mandatory as it stands, but it's Mikey once more that needs to do it all, and the headshot won't suffice.
Heartbreaking. 2v2 though, still workable for Eternal Fire in this post plan. But if this hits, that could be big damage onto Kushner.
Ooh, it was played for the open plant. Kellogg's closing in. Can't make a meal of this. Kushner, 1 kill, brings up his opportunity at a round win. The showstopper can't quite find it to light the fuse onto Sivov. And so with that shut down, it is back-to-back 9 threes. Second layer for Eternal Fire, but they've been clinical in reclaiming space. Flash from Sivov to try and start it. The Catalyst hasn't really got things going, but Mandatory follow up. They respond in brilliant fashion.
But still, they're taking their time.
Kellogg's is just taking the orb right in front of them, underneath Eternal Fire's nose. If you can't find a way to convert a setup like this, then your best chance is possibly gone. Kushner, meal of those first couple of fights. The follow-up will be there though. Cider clean enough, and that round is near flawless.
This is a problem.
Yeah, it's a nice start to the round from Eternal Fire as well, as that drone discovers the Vice Wall. It's instantly trapped by Izzy, and they can cause this rotation.
Showstopper in, there's trades either way, but it's Cider who comes out on top. Brave does not want to give away their position, and Izzy
does feel a little unbeatable in these clutch situations. The double up from Cider and Brave is what will put a stop to that though. Stamped out, 5 for the Fire. It's going to land towards elbow. The reposition of Izzy into this back corner shouldn't be suppressed. Trap stay up, guarded well by Kushner instead. Everything from which to work. Cam still relaying info back to the rest of the team. Anima taking his timing but losing his head inside the process. 4-on-4 situation. Mandatory stabilizing mid-round.
If Mandatory can get on towards site, that's a res in which they can use.
Cider staving off any more aggression, send them packing from his B site once more. But with a smoke placed, it's one of his own to re-engage. Clean shot onto Mikey, needs to flick for the follow-up, but Hip is right by his side, and so mandatory move a man in front.
Hip now holding on towards main. Big 1v1 against Izzy that he needs to win out and can.
Sivov in the clutch. Not a player often put to the hot seat. His opportunity here. All that really stands between mandatory and maybe moving up to a map point. It looks a little more likely. Cushion low needs to stick for the half. Sivov will send him. The action, which we credited them for though. Steel Garden coming in, guns stripped away from the Eternal Fire defense. The classic in the corner is good enough for Izzy. Shorty from elbow, Anima locking it down, breaking both arms of this push as Eternal Fire.
Ramp.
We've seen it a couple of times now when mandatory will group as a team, and for this comp to work, it relies on things like lineups and like kills to open up the round. Can't just play patient the whole time. You need something to get you going. And as Izzy attempts his best form of resistance, it falls flat, and with it the site collapses.
Armor getting used and it's missed as Kushner drops out as he noted he's not somehow's been able to survive! There's no way! 3 kills! 2! No, Mikey!
Not ready yet.
No. Needs to be careful.
Not ready yet.
Up close as Kushner's operator, and would have heard that smoke so close. Ends it out when you just think mandatory have the chance to push it over the line.
Paired to fend it off.
3 players against 4. Showstopper over the wall. Mikey got the pick, but not before the rocket was shot. It explodes, and now this lead just grows more and more. Time is ticking away. This is going to have to be heroics of the highest form, which will not come to light unless Enzo can do it all by himself.
To do it solo, Plant's going to come in at the very least, but Eternal Fire are bearing on down.
Yeah, as confirmation, the last rifle round.
The back of the pack, trailblazing their way through the tower block. Ultimate invested. Anima goes early on top of the wall, dropping down is Kellogg's. He is in the ground. Another player goes down. Enzo just the one. Hip in a clutch, but no time to try and take it. Eternal Fire have extended play. Will go to overtime. Cause some issues. Maybe split through vent if you're able to get it.
You don't want to though.
Have to try and clear it. Kellogg's waiting, double stack, both drop in, both players dead. The fire turns to fumes as mandatory have managed to do enough for now. The flash is brilliant as Hip plays himself in, a little over aggressive. Brave finding 3 of the absolute best. The wall goes up.
Straight through, reposition from main though. Finally the wall drops and Brave is solo.
All on Anima, caught to the corner. Enzo looking to add more, but Anima stops it. 3 players called over. Izzy behind the map. Cider from the corner. Info on both by Kellogg's. And Cider continues to support Anima, the player that did go down, but still bodies on the site for Eternal Fire. The salvos walk away with yet another 20 seconds or less. When you discount the spike plant, I don't think it's going to go down. The only players to drop are on the mandatory side. Mikey attempts his absolute best, but Sivov still can't save them. He'll try his best. It's not enough. Eternal Fire have turned this one around.
That again, this tail coming through and delaying mandatory from moving any further. We know they like to play slow. And Eternal Fire looking to re-aggress, which is punished. Cider, no more tail.
To similar mistakes before, mandatory have called a pause on this, waited for that regenerative utility to come back up. The stun and the reveal matched with the paranoia perfectly. You'd think it spelled success, but Eternal Fire hold that sight.
Brave still having both TPs. He'll be looking to try and escape quickly, but he always finds himself in shot. Oh, he doesn't even get a chance to escape. Can mandatory convert from a player advantage?
You'd expect them to do so. Kellogg's cuts open the site. Izzy gone. Anima, oh, sheriff shot spiked down. has been pinged out. In terms of utility, what is there to look at? Well, would have been the Link player. Hips cut out the drone from Cider, so Kushner caught in an awkward spot, fighting forwards from that flash, but even then, so important that Mandatory could do what they've done.
Guardian back in the hand, what damage can get done? Still, Anima finds a kill. But with that being said,
as they move towards the seaside and the canary in the coal mine is the spy cam, Kushner knows it. He's got to go big.
He's already got the first. He's looking for more. You can see him baiting with the idea of peeking from backside. He's brought hit blow. There's still more players to deal with, and the support is there. It's spot on! Eternal fire!
Revealing area.
Finally. Utility in. There's still so many players here in which to deal with. The paranoia, the defensive one, hasn't been cleared in Mandatory. They know about the position from short, but while they know about it, Hazard, they just can't deal with it. Spike on the ground, and it's another round where Mandatory flounder and just do not have any sort of resistance. 4 for Eternal Fire.
Panicked. And while in this desperate maneuver, they have managed to put Cider under duress. From this position, he will excel. Salvos and rifle combined to clean up. That's disgusting. Mikey TP's over the top, has the stinger, but inside the smoke is Anima. An ace up his sleeve so many times thus far. Really should have had Enzo, despite his heroic position flying on through. Cider in sewer, shot from Izzy on the cross, blades out, drawn for yet another, and Sivov is as dead as you could possibly expect of a player in that position. The util comes through. I think just the most concerning thing for me is how previously Mandatory always just seemed to peak so early in a split. The first final, the one which they've made the last 2 of. Something has to change. Improvements to be made. This round looks much better. The Sheriffs are snappy. So is Kushner. The Q walks back in. What can he do? Almost everything. Flick not enough. Izzy is the player on which this remains. But he's shot to pieces by Enzo. Anchor and already Kushner this deep. Enzo's going to try and fake this with a drone or something. Has to clear it. Dead man walking. Acceleration on the A plane now. And we do get this op. Dueling against each other, and who's going to win? Of course, it's Izzy.
It's the acceleration of a Citron Hazard, as you called him earlier. There is somewhat of something to work with here. The operator of Izzy trying to hold on to backside themselves, but Mikey is low. That's the only other exception, and now 2 players low, and it's Kushner to try and clutch up. Okay, there's something in which a Mandatory can work with here.
I mean, Sivov was low, that's the first player, but the point of contact is more than just a chess piece.
Player back on their side.
It's crazy. Only player on the Eternal Fire side in the top 10 for ACS this event, but...
And again, you're looking at what the retake looks like for the defense, that Rolling Thunder being the key point, and Hit being a late win condition. With that being gone as well, it slowly seems as if the walls are closing in amongst Mandatory.
Even the ult from short side there, aftershock combined. Anima in proxy has won the fights without even having his feet on site. See, where they often look to try and enable that, so the reaction will be swift from the French. Players draped in the red jerseys looking to try and spill some blood, paint the town in the kind of colour that they would like right now as Brave marches forwards on the other side of the smoke. It's messy. Kellogg's letting loose of a couple shots, but Mikey backsights the one who's going to support them. Anima doing everything, but it's just not enough. And so with the pistol in the bag, to the retake, but no real chance to get it going for now. Oh, Sivov. Caught in transition. That was the spam from Brave. He did that against Focus as well, and it's another angle unaccounted for, which has put Eternal Fire in front. Brave rolling with the punches.
Mandatory trying to get back in, and they can't, and the more layers of utility come forward. Eternal Fire putting a trap towards CT.
And there's nothing to engage with this either. Mikey has a smoke. Kellogg's a couple. But more than anything, it has to be damage limitation. Kellox to not get caught. Does by the trap. Taken down. Contact. I mean, who's taking it towards Sewer? It's a stun actually out on long instead. Players line up. Kellox only able for one. Now Enzo brings the ult online, but in his disengage, it's Mikey that needs to come up big. Lobby under wraps. Mandatory making this one look pretty easy in the end. But Brave's still alive, and as long as he is, anything can happen. 2 kills lent to Anima, but can't clutch it out with...
Stun was good as well, just couldn't quite find a player from it, Sevov, but he might get found himself. Very low, the OMG play, the outplay, it's come through at the right time, Eternal Fire! That's it, and I think you've hit the nail on the head, mate.
With Sevov furthest forwards, he has to be big. Disciplined 2 players. And he's gonna get them both.
Fantastic from Sevov. Unbelievable stuff. Kushina, there you have it. Oh, I thought with a head.
Perfect about it. Otherwise, beautiful weapon. And a beautiful round from Mandatory as well. I think they set this one up pretty effectively. They know what the A lobby control looks like from Eternal Fire. Every single other time it found the mark, but Kushina's Bucky in the back lines is firing blanks.
As his blades still not being used, and when they are, it's Mandatory's retake that comes through at the right time! Oh my god! There's no way!
A looming one. Kellox to keep Mandatory in it. A slow peek taken from the side as the Cypher player is undeterred! Eternal Fire! Kushina is the point man. The Cypher player once again to be the difference maker on the A side. But it's Kellox that wins the first duel. It's not for long.
Oh, it just continues on, Hazza.
The retake's trying to come in. Mandatory to save themselves. It's Sevov. 38 kills on Haven last time out. He has to be the hero, put the cape on and save them. He can't do it. And while Eternal Fire were denied the Derby win,